Hey, how's it going, all you lovely people? It's Door Shutter coming back to you with a brand new episode of Project Architect 2, and today we are making the Archilution thingy, which everything should funnel in here once the crafting operations are commencing and completed. This shouldn't take too long. I hope. Keywords, I hope. Looks like something's starting over here. And once that's done, everything should go over here. There it was. You guys saw that. Perfect. And also, we have 6.58 trillion EMC because I've actually been making Archmorphs because I actually went ahead and improved our resin production just a little bit, not a whole lot, but it's automatically making resin balls. See if I can find the area. It's over here. So I've got 4 spruce saplings. I've got Phyto Grow. I've got expanded tank construction, stellar integral components, and this down here where we're just putting a blast chiller, feeding in the resin, and this is not connected to the resin that's in our system, by the way, so this is completely independent. But we have 942 resin balls, so we don't have to auto-craft them or anything of that sort, which is fantastic. So the next portion, what is this used for, actually? Because that's a good question. So, of course, it's a catalyst. Induction smelter catalyst. I don't really see a good point in this. Let's see. Let's go here, EMC automation. Oh, I have not grabbed the nullifier augments out of our system. So nullifier, we'll just make up 2 of these guys. Get this done. So the next piece is the Artrium. There we go. Put those in my inventory. Perfect. Boop, boop. We got an ultimate control circuit, which kind of sucks. But, oh well. Alright. Let's check out what is required for the next one, which requires chaotic fusion crafting injectors. Yikes. We have to go fight a chaos dragon, I'm assuming. Which is miserable, by the way. I also need a building gadget. I thought well, I guess realistically we'll want to auto-craft 90% of this stuff. So let's go and grab the Archiltrion. Let's bookmark all of this stuff. Wand of Symmetry. Okay, so we'll need a mechanical crafting portion as well. That does require precision mechanisms. Okay, so we're gonna have to, like, cut it and be like, this is where we're stopping for now, because we're gonna have to get into systems like this, and that is going to be a pain. Okay. Well, I will worry about crafting what I can. We don't really need to craft that, because it's got EMC. We'll need to craft that, and that. This one we won't worry about just yet. We also need, of course, Chaotic Tier here, which is going to be fantastic. But we should just be able to learn all these real quick, which I will do off camera. Alright, that is everything auto-craftable. So we're just going to quickly toss all of these guys in here. So that is everything we can automatically get completed. The Wand of Symmetry is going to require precision mechanisms, as we saw. I will have to remember how we even go about doing that. That is going to be a process. Not a major process, but we'll probably do that in this episode. So, Wand of Symmetry. We will keep this guy bookmarked, and we will have to figure out how we're going to actually do this, because, yeah, mechanical crafters. The precision mechanism require cogwheel, large cogwheel, and iron nuggets. And we're gonna have to probably make these guys somewhat manually. Not like fully manually, right? But I want to be able to automate this. But iron nuggets, zinc nuggets, all of this stuff we have. Okay. We just don't have, like, EMC-able in that aspect, right? The only thing we have is andesite, so we'll have to pull, like, some kind of nugget from our system. Okay. So what do we want to do first? Do we want to do the Wand of Symmetry, or do we want to go fight a Chaos Dragon? So I guess my first thought is the Mechatana. The Mechatana. And this pack does require to get through the reactor. Ugh. That was not what I was hoping. It wasn't that case. So we have to get ethanol. We'd have to get all of that. But this would allow for us to do 250 damage per swing. I don't think there's any better sword than that. Besides the fact that, you know, the Wyvern and all of those different tiers. The Flux Infused. Transfer 10k RF a tick. I mean, we could look at this. I don't actually know how much damage this does. So let's just quickly... induction smelter recipe, most likely. Yes. And the flux-infused rod. The obsidian rod. The flux-infused gems. Okay, we'll just do this. That's not a problem. And we'll just toss this stuff in here. The stuff that we can, at least. And then the induction smelter, which is right here. And let's just go for a flux sword. I actually don't remember how much damage this does when it's fully charged. I don't recall. Or does it do more, or does it matter? So empowered. This does... What does that do? Honestly, I'm not really sure. Oh, it does like a slash attack when it's empowered. That's pretty cool. But yeah, that doesn't do a whole lot of damage. That's kind of what I was looking at more than anything. Hey, quick interjection here. If you guys are enjoying the video, it'd be greatly appreciated if you leave a like and or subscribe, or even comment. Advice, feedback, questions, I would love to see it all. Alright, let's get back into the video. I think what I want to do is I want to grab the charms from Apotheosis. That might not be a bad idea. I've actually already got one in here. And the reason it's actually in here, it's been in here for a long time, is because I want to infuse it. Basically, infusing makes these unbreakable. And that's kind of why I haven't used it. So we would need less quanta. And even less quanta? What is adding quanta? And I'm going to grab a barrel just to put around here so that way we can just put these back when we need them. Okay, so there's that. Arcana is too high. $32. And then what else? So is this not low enough? We actually need to lower the quanta even more. So quanta. And we could do a melon shelf. That's about it, right? But now it's too low. So we'd probably want to grab a deep shelf. Nope, too high. Infused hell shelf. Okay, so that's kind of the line we need to go towards. Okay, there we go. So that should be good enough for all of the charms that I'm about to make, which are just kind of basic strength, regeneration, absorption, anything and everything to basically give me more of a buff, right? And all of these should... Well, we've only got 4 charm slots, so it may not work that well, but it will be something to get us somewhere. And I'm also going to look at Bobbly Heart canisters as well, because we have, as of right now, only 20 hearts. We could have access to the green and blue. So let's look up bobblies as well. So we've got 15 blue, which is needing green to get us anywhere. Okay, so let me just work on these things, right? This is just crafting stuff up, smelting some hearts if need be, back and forth, not a whole lot to worry about. All right, so we are headed out to, I think, 10,000, 10,000, 10,000. We're not 10,000, 10,000, 10,000, of course, because, you know, they up and down. So 10,000, 10,000. And I am just going to head out that way. It's going to take a while. I probably, actually, I wonder if it might be faster to go to the end portal. I didn't even think about this. I kind of forget the end portal doesn't take you there. So if we go to the end portal and we jump through, this may put us out just a little bit further. So we don't have to go as far. Yeah, we can just go this direction. We kind of need to go, I guess, directly northeast. I think negative 10,000. So just, I'm flying for a while. 10,000, 10,000. So 10,000 question mark 10,000, and we'll find it. All right, so we are coming up on the 10,000, negative 10,000 area. As you can see, this is one of the indicators, is the asteroid belt type of thing. And in the dead center of this is actually going to be where the Chaos Dragon is. So if we fly out, you'll see nothing, but there will be an island that'll appear sooner or later. Looks like we actually got a handful of blocks left. Looks like we're starting to see some smaller islands. Oh, I'm way up high. Hold on, let me fly down here a little bit. So this is like the outer isles. There we go. So this is kind of where it should be. Kind of dead center here. I'm hoping this will spawn. I see... Okay, so I just have to stand. So I'm going to quickly... kind of mute some of these sounds here so we don't get too loud. So yes, he spawns in a whole bunch of towers. So I'm kind of wondering how much damage I can do to this guy by just doing this. Okay, and this does not get affected. So what do we need to do? Kind of need to wait for this guy to shoot at us. I want to try and see if I can do damage to this guy again with the gem, with the tool here. Man, he is flying fast. Okay, so I can't do any damage to him. So we've kind of got to wait for him. Hope he almost took out one of his towers. Come on. Kind of wish I could do... So this is the one thing that I hate about this boss fight, is it is very long. Because you have to have him hit these, from what I remember. And if he doesn't hit them, it's just going to take a while. Because we can't do damage to him. You can see that it keeps regenning. So that is the fun part. So I've got to kind of just stand here and wait for him to hit these. And once he hits it, it's then move on to the next, and 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 to the next, right? So I'll be back whenever I start getting these taken out. Alright, so we're down to the very last crystal. He is just beaming me in the face. But that is now dead. And... okay. That's actually the first time he did damage to me. How am I going to get back? I guess we could just do /back. Okay. That's the first time I've died in a while. Transfer items. It has transferred my wrong backpack, but that's okay. Quickly hearts, all of that stuff. Is that the right backpack? Okay. We'll go with it. Yeah, that sucked. Let's get down. I think he's about to shoot another round of laser beams at me. Yeah, I was not expecting to die there, actually, because I've been doing so well, with taking every one of his hits until that point. So that sucks. But once he's done with this stage, we will then be able to take him out completely. We just gotta wait for him to stop shooting me. Because, yeah, that hurts. That definitely hurts. That took out, like, 40 hearts. Because this thing is full of hearts, by the way. Maybe, okay, there's a guarding wither. Okay. Well, let me get his health down further. Try not to die again, and we'll be back. I've got his first bar down. Now I've got to deal with the second, which is, this is taking forever. I've been fighting this guy for like 30 minutes, man. This guy is almost dead. I'm just waiting for him to stop doing his, like, charge attacks and stuff. And then hopefully I can get close enough to him, but of course with withering, it slows me down quite a bit. Oh, one more hit. One more of these hits. If I stop getting withering. Oh, this withering is fantastic, because he is so much faster than me. There we go. Holy cow. Okay. That was ridiculous. I'm not gonna lie. That was really boring. I'm probably gonna cut out 90% of it, because I did try to record a little bit of segments here and there, but man, this is just something else. And not a good something else either. It is a boring something else. Because, yeah, that took a while. Okay. So, down here in the center aisle of this, we should come across the crystal. Yes, this right here. Chaos crystals, which actually apparently have EMC value. Do I want to attempt to silk touch this? Okay, let me clear this guy out. Can I silk touch this? I'm kind of curious. If I can't, it should break into shards. But it's EMCable, which is just beautiful. This is... I'm so glad I don't have to kill more of these guys. I didn't realize this was EMCable. But yeah, we're just going to grab the full thing, hopefully. After a while. Okay, so they are just EMCable. Chaos shards, 16.77 million per. Okay. So the 8 is just like a ruse, but it tells you that it's EMCable, which is beautiful. Okay. So let's slash home. And I also pulled out totems because I did die a second time. But, you know, it happens. We get over it. We live, we learn. Let's work on a couple things here. So I actually went ahead off camera and I have got 12 chaotic fusion crafting injectors. I did this off camera because it's not really that complicated. It's, you know, look through JEI. We needed 9 crafting fusion injectors here, so I actually had to go back and make a couple more of the Draconic fusion. So there we had to get 9. And with this one, of course, we just had the normal 8. That worked well with the Wyvern. So this is not crazy, right? These large chaos fragments, of course, just come from chaos shards. And that made it really simple. So I've got 12 of these guys. And I actually want to place these guys just a little bit differently because I want to try and automate the fusion crafting piece here. And so we're going to actually kind of set everything just a little bit lower. I'm going to get rid of all the hoppers because we're going to need to access this. Actually, let's pull this back one. That's probably not a bad idea. So right now we just out 2, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, I think is what we'll do. Trying to see if we can give this enough space. And, okay, my pants are not on, which means that I can shift in space here. Oop, okay, let's just do this. Yeah, let's put it there. That sounds okay. Alright. And we'll get rid of this. And of course, we also want to make sure that these are set to single item mode, because I actually have not done that. And I'm going to put the power to the side here. I was thinking of putting it under, but I may need to use the under spot here in a second. And then we're going to move this guy over. So 1, 2 here. We'll get rid of this stuff for now. We can actually keep the output. That's fine. I keep taking out the stone bricks. I don't mean to. So shapeless. Take out that, take out that, take out half the building again. Like, I love how half of this is just me replacing stone bricks. This building's never gonna look the way it did when I first built it. It's definitely not. Alright, let's get this picked back up. Man. Okay, shift, or is it X? Okay. I turned on step assist whenever I was dealing with the Chaos Dragon, and I kind of forgot that I kept it on. It's a little jarring sometimes when I'm trying to do stuff like this. So let's get that placed. Perfect. Okay, and power, power, power. And that should be golden. So what I want to do is I want to grab a barrel for this portion right here, because we're going to have the items come out of this barrel. I think actually maybe I want it down here. I'm kind of thinking of this in a certain way, but I have to kind of think through it here. So if we do it here, we're going to have to cut into the floor, which I think is okay with me at this point. Perfect. And I want to... Because that's... Yeah, that would be fine. So if we were to put this here, and the rest of these... So that's 1 block away for that. 1, 2, 3... Unconnect. And then the same thing here, we'll just quickly run these guys. I think the last time I did this with Laser IO, if I'm not mistaken, but I can't recall, actually, because it's been a while. And the next thing we're going to do is we're going to grab a wireless connector. I've already actually got this able to be bound. And we're going to grab a pattern provider. Oop, I mean to toss it on the ground here. And we're going to turn this to blocking. And we are going to lock until primary crafting result is returned. Okay. And then we're going to grab an entangled block. So entangled block. And I'm going to grab the entangled binder out of here. So we're just going to bind that. Ooh, that is nuts. Okay. And then we're just going to do this. Going to do this. And we'll want some speed here. So we're just going to do this here. This here. And nearest first is exactly how we want to do this. So what I want to try is for the piece that we need for this, which I don't even remember what it is now. Hold on, let's see if we can... Okay. So we want to do the chaos core, the chaotic core here. And that should be everything. No. Okay, so this is one of the problems. Is we've got overlapping items, right? We've got large chaos fragments in here, and we've got... So this may not work like I was hoping. So this won't work the way I was thinking. Okay. So we can't use pipes here. We can keep this portion. That's fine. I think what we need to do is probably go back to the drawing board. Because, yeah, that was my only kind of thought, was to try and do pipes. But I did not recognize that this is the same as the actual crafting ingredients. So what we're going to try now is we're actually going to try with modular routers. So we're going to grab a couple things here. So we're going to grab a sender Mark II. And we're going to send into this And we're actually going to grab a regulator module to only send one at a time. Okay. So one, perfect. We're going to put that there. And we are going to also, well, actually, no, we're just going to do one. So distributor module, we're just going to click on as many of these as we can, which is up to 8, right? So yeah, we got none left. And we're going to grab the rest of them. We need more sender Mark IIs. Okay. And one more blank module set because I just used them all. There we go. And this is just so that way we actually encapsulate all of them. So let's actually pull this one out. So we just need these 4. And then we're going to terminate on match. I think is what we want. And I'll leave a link down in the description to the video that I found. It is like text-based commentary instead of actual voice. So I'm hoping that this actually still functions properly, but we'll give this a go. So we are going to unlock this. And we are going to try this again. Draconic Core. Okay, so this was actually on me. Cancel. That is because I did not set the recipe. So let's put that stuff back in. So we got to reset that recipe is what we got to do. And we'll just unlock this here. Because remember, I put that nether star at the very bottom. We don't want to do that. We want that to actually be the first option. So let's try that one more time. Okay. And then what we're going to do is we're just going to grab a timer, which I actually already have from RF Tools. Let's grab some more cobblestone that I accidentally just threw back in here. And we will do timer. We'll do 20 ticks. And that is done. Okay. And this should have unlocked. It did. So I guess the next question is, will this one work? So let's actually just reset the recipe completely. And this is actually the reason we put the regulator module in, is to only pull one. That's the exact reason is for this right here. So the chaotic core. We actually don't have any awakened draconium. Do we have any awakened draconium blocks? We do. Perfect. So let's try that one more time. We'll get those set up too, if this all functions properly. Hello? Oh, there it goes. Just took a second. Oh yeah, it's crafting up its draconic cores. So we're seeing that this is working, which is beautiful. And I probably should have done this to some extent with the fusion injectors, the crafting injectors here, because that would have made things a lot simpler. But at the end of the day, I am okay with doing that manually because I enjoy this this process. It's a really cool, interesting idea. It's just, you know, sometimes whenever we're doing stuff like this, we don't really want to keep that going manually. So, you know. Okay, so that is functioning. Like, that just worked. So now we've got the chaotic core. So now the next piece is getting create stuff. Right? That's it. which I don't have any of the create stuff, which is gonna be interesting. So with that, we are going to wrap this one up here. I think that this is just a really good spot because next episode we're gonna have to just like full force into create. All right, but with that, we're going to wrap this one up here. Of course, link down in the description to the video that I saw originally for the modular router fusion automation. And next episode, we are going to full force into create, and that will be super duper super fun, right? I really don't stand, I can't stand create, but we will do it. We will get into it, and I think it'll be a fantastic time. Stay awesome, and I can wait to see you in the next one. Bye-bye.